Hi everyone, it's Karen here with a new card tutorial made for our fall YouTube hop. A few of my crafty friends and I are collaborating on a YouTube hop where each friend creates a video tutorial on a specific topic. It could be a card, layout, or any type of project. So hop along with everyone. All the videos are listed in the description area below, as well as all the products and links that I used today on my video. Hop along also for some exciting giveaways, and I'm also having a giveaway, so stay tuned to the end of this video to see how you can enter. The theme of the YouTube hop is fall, but we also wanted to focus our video on 5 favorite products. The first product I'm going to focus on is the heat resist acetates. And I bought these sheets and they're amazing because you can really do anything and use your heat tool for it. And the reason why I'm putting them inside these packaged acetate sheets is because I want to put alcohol inks on them, and the alcohol inks really stain my mat and I don't want that to happen. So I took a few colors of alcohol inks, and I will list all of those below, and I started staining the acetate. So I also using a little bit of rubbing alcohol, or you can use the blending medium that is part of the Ranger line. And I'm just mixing the colors together, basically dropping them in all directions. It doesn't really matter. I have 3 acetate sheets here, and I'm just basically adding more and more color until I'm happy with the way it looks. Although they're not new, alcohol inks are the second product I'm featuring in this video. Just to point out that I originally tried to do this with the actual packaging and then tried to emboss on that, and it didn't work, and it warped the whole package. So plastic just from a packaging, you could do the same technique with this, and I do that later on, where I use some of those backgrounds that you see in my cards. I use some of the packaging because I don't heat set them. So as long as you don't heat set the packaging, you could use any type of packaging from a stamp or from some kind of embellishment and use it to create these really cool backgrounds. So I continue doing this until I'm happy with the way it looks. You can swerve it around a little bit just to kind of mix all the colors together. I also added a little bit of gold solution to it, or alcohol ink, and it really brought those really nice colors. Once they're dry, and you can either let them air dry or you can heat set them because this is a heat resist tool. I took the Concord 9th lace leaf, which is the stamp I'm going to be working with, and I decided that I was going to emboss it with gold. So I took some Versamark ink and inked the stamp, and then I pressed it onto the acetate sheet. As you can see, my stamp is black because I've attempted many different tries to see how I could embellish these cards, and I've had so many mistakes. It's never taken me this long to create a card. It was hours and hours upon hours of mistakes. So I was really almost giving up on these cards, but I continued through. I'm adding some Princess Gold embossing powder from Ranger, and then I'm heat setting it. And this you can heat set perfectly without the acetate warping up. As I said, one of my main mistakes that I did is that I tried to use acetate from the packaging, which it's not a good idea if you want to heat set. You can use that for backgrounds, but you cannot heat set because it melts. So I did something else with those packaging pieces, which I use more as backgrounds, and then I stamped and embossed on the heat resist acetate that I had. This golden leaf was used for one of the cards, and I even made a second one for a different card. And I ran it through my Sizzix die cutting machine and cut out the leaf using the die cut matching the set. This stamp set and die cutting set that matches from Concord and 9th are my 3rd and 4th product featured today, and the Princess Gold embossing powder is actually the 5th one because they're all themed for the fall, which is the colors that I chose for this video today. And then I stamped and embossed another leaf on white cardstock for a different card. Again, I use my anti-static powder, stamp it with Versamark ink, and then emboss it with the Princess Gold from Ranger. I don't know if you noticed, but some of my embossing powders are in containers, large containers, because I use them often, and it's easier for me to have them in those containers and apply things right into the tub without having to use any other type of tool to put them back into the container. This is a very handy hack that I learned from somebody online, and I keep a little spoon in there attached to the lid so I can use it anytime I need to. I ran this leaf also through the die cutting machine, making sure that it stays in place, and just cut it so I could use it as an embellishment of one of the cards. I also die cut a grateful word from the same set with some cardstock, and then embossed it with my Princess Gold embossing powder as well. Now it was time to assemble the cards, and let me tell you, this was just the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I don't know why, but I could not get this done properly the way I wanted to. So I did use some of the leftover pieces that I had cut out with the white cardstock, and what I did is I stuck them behind the golden leaf just to raise it a little bit and create a 3D effect that goes in the center of my other card. So that's my first card, and it was really nice. However, I have to say that the other ones that I put together, I had to take apart a million times because I wasn't happy with the results. They were just not coming out the way I had envisioned them. So I had to go back and forth between them and figure out how I want them to be. And you see here I'm gluing this on this card, but it doesn't actually end up being like that on that card. For the next card, I use an acetate piece and I cut out a leaf out of it. Then I glued it to the background and took the acetate leaf and put it between two other white cardstock leaves where I had cut the word grateful from for using in the other card. This created a really nice window for the acetate to go through the word and make it look really unique. Then I took a sentiment from the stamp set, and using an acrylic block I used Versamark ink to stamp it, and then embossed it with the same Princess Gold embossing powder that I had used before. To assemble the next card, I used some of the acetate from the packaging that I had created after. This is not the heat resist acetate. And then I used one of the cutouts that I had used in a previous card, where I cut out a white leaf out of the piece of cardstock. And as you can see, that's why there was tape in the background, because I reused this one when I took it apart from a different card. Then I cut out the word grateful out of the same cardstock and glued it in the middle, and that was my next card. Then I used the Versamark ink again to emboss the sentiment and emboss it with the Princess Gold embossing powder like I did before. For the next card, again I used a piece of acetate to create the background, and then I put another piece of white cardstock on top, and as you can see, again, it's a piece of cardstock that I had already used that had some markings in the back from a different card, and I just used it to frame the card and be able to put the leaf in the center. This leaf was also cut out of the acetate, and then I backed it up with a few more leaves to really raise it and create a 3D effect, and then glued it to the background. Finally, I took another grateful word and glued it in the center of the leaf. I knew I wanted to create very simple cards because the alcohol ink backgrounds were really busy. This stamp set comes with a really cool background that goes behind the leaf, and I really wanted to try it out, so I basically just winged the last card and just went for it to see how it would work. So I took some colors from the Distress Oxide inks and Distress inks and just mixed them all together and pressed it onto my white cardstock. I did this a couple times just to get a good impression of this, and it becomes a really nice washed out watercolor-like stamped image. Then I stamped the leaf with a darker Distress ink just to make sure that I got a really dark impression. And I really love how it turned out, but it was still too simple for me, and I really wanted to include the nice alcohol ink acetate sheets that I had created. So I cut out a leaf out of a regular acetate sheet, and I also included my second leaf that I had embossed with the gold embossing powder, and basically just glued them side by side on the background, and then added my grateful sentiment in the middle. It ended up being that this was actually my favorite card. Even my husband thought that this was the nicest one, which I wasn't expecting, but I really love it, and it was perfect for this set. I really love the stamp splatters at the bottom of the leaf, so I took the stamp again and just inked the bottom part where the splatters are and started stamping around the other leaves as well, just to create some more interest, and I really love how that turned out. I really want to say that I'm so grateful that I actually finished these cards and didn't stop, even though I made so many mistakes, and I learned from my mistakes and continued on, and I'm really happy with the results, which is a perfect theme for these cards because I'm very grateful for everything, not only these cards but everything that I have in this world. And for that reason I want to have a little giveaway, and I'm giving away a $25 gift certificate to scrapbook.com. All you have to do to win this gift certificate is subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and then visit my website karentamir.com for all the details on how to enter. Follow the link at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Visit all the videos in the hop. If you like the videos, please give it a thumbs up and share with your friends on social media. For more inspiration by me, visit me on my website above. Bye!